everyone, welcome back to Background Buzz. This is our very first Background Buzz reviews. We actually just came back from watching Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
We're about a half hour out from watching that movie. Again, my name is Wilson.
I'm Steve.
And the way we're going to break down this review video is we're going to give you the positives, what we liked about the movie. We're going to give you the negatives, what we didn't like about the movie. And then we're going to give you our individual ratings of the movie. And then we're going to move over to spoilers. We're going to start off with positives. What did you like about this movie, Steve?
Overall, I love this movie. I liked it. I like the battle sequences towards the end of the movie. I think the movie really picked up towards the second half.
Yeah.
There were some really cool lightsaber battles. That was cool. I do also like the development of some of the characters like Rey and Kylo Ren. I always felt that in The Force Awakens that Kylo Ren was kind of like a shitty villain because he was weak. And it seemed like he didn't really have it all together.
No, he was like a whiny emo kid. Yeah,
and it was like, well, I don't know. Like, I'm not. This is my first introduction to you as a character, so like, I'm not down for the ride for you to become this great villain.
And also, he was supposed to be this generation's Darth Vader. Yeah. So there was a lot riding on him to be really good.
Yeah.
And I think he failed to meet a lot of people's expectations.
But I think
I can only speak for myself.
No, mine too. But I think one of my positives of this movie is that it kind of digs deep into like why Kylo Ren is the way he is, and like why he isn't like the this generation Darth Vader, and like that actually plays like a big role in like the plot of this movie. That like he's not Darth Vader.
Yeah, he's his own thing.
He's his own thing. Yeah.
And I feel like that's what I loved about this movie. You're right. It is the fleshing out of the characters, right? It's taking what Force Awakens established, because Force Awakens had a responsibility and kind of a hard job to establish new characters that people are going to emotionally invest in, and a story that is engaging enough and interesting enough to have people go along for the ride. And I thought Force Awakens did a good job of giving us characters that I was, by the end of Force Awakens, all I could think is I'm looking forward to see how are they going to flesh these out, because they were very thinly fleshed out in the first one.
Yeah. And
I felt like this movie did a great job of giving each individual character their own story arc and how they grow and develop.
Even some of the side characters, like what was it,
Poe, Finn, Rey, all of them.
Yeah, they all kind of got their own little arc in this movie.
This movie, they have something to do, and it all fits into the story, and they're fun. And you were talking about the battle scenes.
Yeah.
I think some are better than others. You're right. There's a lot of battle scenes. I felt like it was peppered throughout the movie.
Yeah.
And I had told you this before. I think this movie, for me, it was like an up and down. It was like you have your slow moments where things are, you're diving more into the past. You know, it's people are talking, and then you get your action scene and your ups and downs.
Yeah.
And there's humor peppered into this.
There's a lot of humor.
There's like surprisingly a lot of humor in this movie, and just like Disney, if you're a fan of Marvel, you know they love peppering in their, at times, can be cheesy humor, but it worked. For me, it worked.
I think in this kind of movie, you need the humor because, I mean, maybe I'm just not that familiar with Star Wars, but apparently Star Wars is inherently cheesy as fuck.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have, like, this, like, sort of character like Kylo Ren that's, like, whining about how he's not Darth Vader, like, if you're going to have this cheesy story, I feel like you have to throw in humor.
Yeah.
Because if you have this cheesy story and you're trying to take it seriously, I think that would be, like, a lot more awkward.
Yeah, I think that, Star Wars was meant to be cheesy, but I always loved the lore of Star Wars, like, you know, the Jedi and the lightsaber and the mythology behind that, and that stuff's really interesting. Like, as cheesy as everything else around it, that lore was really what I liked about the movie. What else did you like about the movie? I like porgs. I love again, Star Wars is known.
What are porgs?
Porgs are like the little birds.
No, I know what they are.
But what are they?
For the listeners.
Oh, they know. If you're watching this and you don't know what a porg is, you'll know. They're these little bird-like creatures. They're cute. They're cute. They're adorable.
Do you think the average person that watches this movie is going to leave knowing that the word to call those animals is porg?
I don't think so.
Because how the hell would they know? Was that ever mentioned in the movie?
I'm not sure. But all I know is that they're like huge promotional. It was a huge promotional thing that Star Wars was running, like Porgs this.
See, the thing, I went in blind. I didn't watch a single trailer for this movie.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I rewatched the trailer so many times.
I like to go into these movies blind because I like to just be surprised by things.
Yeah, that's true. There are moments where you could be surprised.
Yeah.
But like Star Wars does a good job of world building, like creating these crazy, like wild animals, and they're kind of known for that. And this movie has a lot of that. You're going to see a lot of creatures, a lot of different, aliens that sort of call back to that cantina scene in the original Star Wars, where it's this like place where, and you have that. There's a casino scene. No spoilers, but there is a set piece that takes place in the casino. And if you listen closely, they actually have the music, the cantina music.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you're gonna get all that stuff. Definitely, they're gonna. This movie does a good job of pulling. Oh, this is another positive. It does a good job of pulling your like that nostalgia factor, but not totally being like nostalgia.
No, like beating you over the head with the.
Yeah, like which I think Force Awakens was. It was to me, it felt like a copy and paste of New Hope, with differences, and you can debate that. But this movie does a great job of trying to be its own thing, like trying to move the series in a new direction. And I felt like for me that was the whole theme of the movie. It was
like letting go of the past.
Letting go of the past. Like no spoilers, but that's in Force Awakens. Kylo kills Han Solo.
Oh yeah, we can spoil Force Awakens. Yeah, that's fine.
But I don't want to spoil this new movie because there are similar themes about he wants to become the new Darth Vader. He wants to become this bad guy, and he killed Han Solo to do that.
And I feel like it was more to like to prove to himself that he could do it, but it was like you're not that guy. Even if you kill Han Solo, you're just gonna like it's gonna haunt you. So like you, and I feel like this movie addressed it in a cool way that like he's trying to be Darth Vader, but even though he killed Han Solo, he's never truly gonna be that guy. Which is I thought was pretty cool. Which I think also differentiated him from Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Because if he was just a copy and paste of that same villain we saw before, I mean, that wouldn't be interesting.
No. And, Darth Vader is this iconic character, but if you watch the original movies, there's not a lot of depth to him. I mean, he's a bad guy who Luke is his son, and at the end he has a conflict between his love for his son gets him back into the light.
Yeah.
But other than that, there's no real depth. In fact, the prequels was to fill in that, to give him a backstory. So we're sort of getting that with Kylo, where we're seeing his depthness. So he's being more fleshed out as a villain, and I'm liking it. I think this movie did a great job of giving him more substance to him. And actually, by the end of this movie, I could say that I came out actually looking forward to seeing him as the Star Wars villain who
even though he's played by Adam Driver, that still doesn't bother you?
I thought Adam Driver's okay. He's fine.
Right.
He's fine. I don't have a problem. We're not at the negative section yet. But yeah, any final thoughts? This movie looked really good.
Yeah.
The CGI was great.
Yeah, the CGI was great. It's a high budget film, yeah. The
CGI was really good. A lot of people are comparing this to The Empire Strikes Back. And one of the things that I liked about
a fair comparison, yeah.
And the one thing I really loved about Empire, and it's one of my favorite Star Wars movies, is that it jumped from planet to planet. Like you went to Cloud City, then you were in the Yoda planet. I don't know the names. I'm not
the Yoda planet.
The Yoda planet.
Planet Yoda.
And this one's similar. So expect to see just so many different locations. So visually, it's very good.
Another positive for me is I think this movie did a great job of portraying the rebels as like this very small group of people that are like on the brink of being annihilated, and that like they're really just like grasping at the last possible straw. Which it's kind of why I liked Rogue One so much. That like it wasn't always. I mean, obviously it's a Disney movie. They're gonna come out like on top at the end, but like it wasn't always so like sure like how that's gonna happen, or like are they really gonna win, or is this character really gonna like die or whatever.
Yeah.
Like so there were some like genuinely tense moments where you think like all is lost, especially in the latter half.
Yeah.
Where it's like okay, like and then when I guess the characters maybe do make it out, like you truly feel like they've achieved something.
Yeah, this movie did do that. You felt like in this movie that there were stakes, right?
Yeah, the stakes were high.
And yeah, this movie did a great job. Another positive that made me think of is like you're right, like the rebellion became so small and there were so many twists and turns in this movie.
There was, yeah.
There were so many twists and turns. There's actually moments that I didn't expect, and that's what I loved about this movie. Like at every corner, I really had no idea what was going on. There are so many moments where it just switches on you, and you're like, "Holy shit!" Like that's what's going on, and then if you go see it in a movie theater, you're gonna see the reaction. People like these little twists and turns.
So, I guess we could go into negatives.
Let's go into negatives.
And then overall impression. I'll start because I think I have more negative than you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, and this is going to be controversial, but I think my overall negative with this movie and Force Awakens, and probably going to be the next movie, is that I think this whole trilogy is tied too much to the original Star Wars trilogy.
How dare you, sir?
And the reason I loved Rogue One was because it was like tied to the original Star Wars trilogy, but it was an entirely new cast of characters, almost no cameos, and it was just like, here's these new characters, here's their story, and we're not gonna poke at nostalgia from the past to try to get you to care. We're just gonna get you to care about these characters because they're cool. I feel like, this movie, while the Luke scenes were cool, every time I saw them, or the Princess Leia scenes, or even the Han Solo scene from Force Awakens, I couldn't help but think, well, like, where is this generation's, Luke? Where's this generation's Han Solo? Where's this generation's Leia? Like, it would have been so much cooler if this movie took place maybe like 100 years in the future or 100 years in the past, and they just did their own thing.
Yeah.
So that's my biggest negative. What do you think about that?
I think that it's fair to say that you want like a movie that's not with the Skywalkers, right?
Yeah.
Which is something that I've actually heard on other channels, other people who review movies, that is one of the issues where they want to see a separate storyline. And you ever play that game Old Republic? Star Wars,
no,
Old
we had a friend Eric that played it. He would have been good on this episode.
So I never played that game, but from what I heard is that the Old Republic has a really cool storyline, and that takes place back in the day, where the Jedi were at a different place and explored more of that.
And that would have been so cool. That
would be cool. Yeah. But what I would say to you to counter that is that I'm pretty sure that that's coming down the road. Like once they're done with this trilogy, they're not going to end the Star Wars series. They're going to explore new territories and expand on it. So I would say
just be patient.
Just be patient. And for me, I like the Skywalker storyline is still going on because I love the Skywalker, the original Star Wars, and when the original movie ended,
I could always say if you like the original so much, fucking watch the original. Like
this is a continuation of the story. It's moving forward. Like the first three are great, right?
Yeah,
they're pretty good. It has its own story. But I remember like when I finished the last Star Wars movie, I was like, man, I want to see more. Like I want
and more of this, not like 100 years in the future. I want more of these.
Like I want to see what happens now. Like the rebels have won. What happens now? Like I'm so curious to that. Now I thought the Force Awakens didn't really do a good job of explaining why is the First Order in control again.
The rebels won, but then now there's a new empire.
Yeah, now the rebels again.
Okay,
that annoyed me. And
then you know what's going to happen when these rebels win? Oh. Maybe 5 years later, now there's a new empire, now there's new rebels.
Yeah.
So outside of that negative, I think for me the movie started off pretty slow. Mm-hmm. You said there were battle scenes peppered through it, and that's true. But I do think that we're not in spoiler territory yet. But I think the scenes towards the end were way better than the ones in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so that's like another negative. I guess my third negative I have to wait first for the spoiler section. Okay. But I will say that I thought the whole entire plot of the movie was very small. Like,
oh yeah,
the movie was very small in scope. That I feel like even if I missed this movie, I feel like not much happened in the overall story of Star Wars.
Okay, this movie did feel like they're heading somewhere, which we're going to see a lot more.
It's still like
in the trilogy,
a stopgap movie. Like it's like a little in between.
It's like the in between. To what it was a setup movie for the third one, but I guess my negative would be. I guess I'm just gonna say what I think about you said, and I'll go into my negatives. The slow part, I liked every minute of this movie.
Okay, that's
even the slow parts. In fact, I thought like nice, like this Star Wars movie it's taking its time, it's slowing down, it's not throwing just action scene at us, And I think you're right. The action scenes weren't that memorable. Some of them.
Some of them really were though.
At the end, yeah, you're right. It does pick up later on. And Rogue One with their third act like battle scene, that really raised the standard as far as like, man, this is what I expect out of Star Wars like battle scene.
I still think Rogue One is better than this movie.
Yeah, I would say Rogue One is a good movie. Now, for me, I like it. I like this movie better than Rogue One.
That's fair.
Yeah, but we're not getting into that.
No, I feel like we could get into all that once we get into spoilers.
Yeah.
Should we just get into spoilers?
I haven't even said none of my negatives.
Oh, okay.
My negatives, and this is a negative that I'm not sure how other people feel. Did the movie feel a little bit long?
No, it's way too long. Way too long.
Yeah, it felt a little bit long, and that's not a bad thing. Like, how dare I go? Like, I've had enough Star Wars. Like, cut it short.
I feel like the first half of the movie, you know how they do like the running text in the beginning? They could have just running text the first half of this movie. Because I feel like we'll get into spoilers, but nothing up until like one like battle scene for me like was really that important.
Yeah,
and then I was like, Star Wars, you guys already invented a way to like speed through the slow parts of the movie. You just like have the audience read it. Just fucking do that.
I like this. I like the slow parts. I'm gonna put that out there. I didn't have a problem with that at all, and I thought this movie was a thrill ride. What's another negative that I have? Some of the humor didn't hit that well. Like, there was some cheesy humor that just didn't hit. And Disney movies tend to do that.
Yeah. They throw out a lot of jokes and like some
like
of them
in places and also in places where it feels a little awkward.
Or
Forced but some of those jokes did hit, and some of those jokes even almost was making a parody of the Star Wars series in general.
Yeah.
Negative, you didn't touch upon that. Some of the acting, like you said, you don't like
Adam Driver
as far as acting.
That's like a personal opinion. I think he's a good actor. I watched the show Girl. I think he's good in that when like he's playing some like hipster in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. But playing like a villain in the Star Wars universe, I do not think that suits his skill set.
Another negative I've had
it's almost cringeworthy in my opinion.
General Hux, right? The redhead.
The ginger.
Now he's funny, and he's supposed to be like the general, right?
Yeah.
But there's no depth to him. He's sort of this empty villain. He's there for comedic relief at times.
He's a company man.
He is a company man. For me, I thought he was funny in this movie. I thought he made. There was a lot of good laughs to be had with him.
At his expense.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, any other negatives before we give our final rating and then go on to spoilers?
No.
What'd you think of the music, the soundtrack, P.S.?
I mean, it was fine. I'm not that like wired into the music. I wasn't really paying that much attention. I don't know if I could really.
Yeah.
I'm on the place to really rate that.
I can't think any other negatives. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. I think we give our rating.
Overall, I still, even though it sounds like I'm down on this movie, I would still give it probably an 8. I think it was great. Mm-hmm. It was a great movie. Not amazing, but a lot of it could have been cut out. But the parts that were good were amazing. So
yeah, I'm gonna give this movie a 9.
9.
I like this movie. I really like this movie. I want to see it again. If there's one takeaway from this movie, is that so much is going on. There's so much going on. Like, what's going on? It leaves in a spot where you're like, what's going on? And what's going to happen next?
Okay.
And I really like this movie. So I give it a 9. I liked it. Actually, I really liked it.
Alright. Spoiler, I think we're about 20 minutes in, so we'll probably link below to a timestamp so the kids
So, guys, that was our non-spoiler review for Star Wars The Last Jedi. Steve, you ended up giving it an 8.
Yep.
I gave it a 9. And please subscribe this video.
Oh, we're doing 2 separate videos?
No, I'm just going to give you this, and then be like, at this point, we're going to, so just,
they can leave. Okay,
so just subscribe. We're going to go into spoiler territory now. So if you haven't seen the movie and you just checked in to see what we thought of the movie, this is where you want to leave. Because it's going to be spoiler heavy.
Or just stick around anyway, mute it, and then just keep the video playing to help our stats on YouTube.
Or do that.
Yeah. And just pull out your iPad and your phone and do it all at the same time.
Yeah, keep it as background noise.
Background buzz.
Background buzz. So, all right, guys, thank you for coming. Now we're going to go into spoilers, and we're going to give you 5 seconds. So yes. All right, we're in spoilers now. We're in spoiler territory.
Could I say that scene where Kylo kills the High Commander or High Overlord, whatever?
Supreme Leader Snoke.
Supreme Leader Snoke. Kind of felt like Snoke, President Snow from Hunger Games, but that's neither here nor there. But he kills Supreme Leader Snoke, and then Rey and her have to like fight out of that little dungeon area. For me, that was like the highlight of the movie. It was so fucking cool.
Yeah, that was a great scene. So unexpected. I thought Snoke was gonna be this.
Was it unexpected? Because like I knew how did you expect that scene to end? Like when you were watching it, like I guess like when I'm watching the movie, I wasn't thinking like, well, like what's gonna happen next? And I was like, well, they're obviously not gonna kill Rey because she's the main character.
Yeah,
they're not gonna kill Kylo because he's the main character. So
I mean unexpected in the sense that I thought Snoke was gonna be like a more formidable like villain. Like we were gonna see him lightsaber duel. I thought we were going to see him at least have an interaction with Luke and have a little history, because there were a lot of theories going on as to who is Snoke. And there's like books, there are Star Wars books. One of the most popular Star Wars books is this one called Plagueis, the Sith Plagueis. Now he's the guy who trained the original Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
He's supposed to be this all-powerful Sith, and people thought like this is the guy, which would have been really cool. But it ends up that not. He died, and also.
That like a little bitch too.
Unexpected because he's this all-powerful Sith, and he couldn't really see what Kylo was doing.
Yeah, Kylo is like he's a weird character because on one end he lost in a fight to Rey when Rey didn't even know how to use a lightsaber, but on the other end he's able to beat like this all-powerful Sith Lord. So either one, there's just like massive inconsistency because Disney just doesn't know what they're doing, or maybe he's like this wonderkin that's like really powerful, but he doesn't understand his own strength, and he's too emotional to really control it.
That could be it. I mean, you could
I like to believe
it that way.
I like to believe that.
I for some reason I feel like it's more of an inconsistency.
Yeah.
And because this was directed by Rian Johnson. You ever seen that movie?
Not J.J. Abrams.
No, J.J. Abrams is going to return for the third one.
Okay.
Rian Johnson he directed this one, and he's going to direct a new trilogy. So Disney already announced that they're going to create a new trilogy under Rian Johnson. They must have really loved his work. And J.J. Abrams, I think the movie he set out was, let's make them all powerful, right? Let's make Rey powerful. Let's make Kylo powerful. And that scene. Let's talk about that scene. Spoilers: Kylo kills Snoke in a very Snoke dies in a very very easy way.
Yeah. He's
kind of a fool. He gets tricked.
He
gets distracted.
He's like, you're going to kill your true enemy. And he turns the lightsaber, kills him instead.
And he does. And he's cut in half. And that was cool to see his bodies like split in half.
It was so cool to see like Kylo and then Rey.
Buddy up
and like by those bad guys.
Yeah, that's such a cool scene. Yeah.
Alright. So here is my other negative I was going to say that couldn't because it was a spoiler. I thought the whole plot of the movie was very small, right? It's just, they're on the run from the First Order. The whole movie, they're on the run from the First Order. They get away, but not really, and then like they get away. I feel like the whole movie takes place in like a 20-hour time frame, which is fine. But I felt like the first half of the movie, when they're fleshing out these characters, it's cool. I'll be invested in a movie without action scenes when they're just fleshing out characters if the overall plot I feel is engaging. But I feel like the overall plot wasn't engaging in the beginning. I was like, they're just trying to get away from this First Order until the plot isn't progressing, and now we're just fleshing out these characters. Like, no. Like, if you're just gonna spend time talking about characters, then I want the plot to progress, or I want some cool action scenes.
Yeah.
And I think that was my biggest gripe with the first half of the movie. With that, like, I feel like I sat there for an hour and nothing happened. Like, all I learned was, I learned some cool things about Luke. I learned some cool things about Kylo. But couldn't I have learned that and also progressed the story? Couldn't I have learned that and also have some battle scenes?
Yeah, I think this movie focused more on progressing the characters, like their arcs, and it was a setup movie. Like, this movie set up.
I hate that term, setup movie. I'm paying good money.
It's a setup movie. It's a appetizer to what's going to come in a trilogy.
And also, shouldn't they have?
It's the middle. It's the middle of the trilogy.
Shouldn't they have done all this setting up in the first movie rather than retell A New Hope? Like, wouldn't that have been the move?
Yeah, but they didn't. So this movie had a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't do that.
And it's because I feel like where the rebels were at the beginning of this movie wasn't that different from where they were at the end of this movie. They were on the run from the First Order, and now they're still on the run, kind of. They got out of one really bad close encounter, but like they're still on the run. So like, but nothing happened. Like Rey, I don't feel like Rey like unlocking like cool powers in this movie.
No, but Rey came out knowing her place in all this. Because remember, that's the line that she said in the movie. She was like, "Help me find my place or my purpose in all of this." Right? She was like, "How does she fit in the grand scheme of things?" And spoilers, like, and I'm not sure how true it is, but Kylo reveals to Rey that her parents were nobodies. Like, there's no special story to her.
Yeah.
So that even.
But then, why does she have powers? Why does she have like these fourth powers?
Well, just like the other kid at the end, where you see, I think
maybe just random.
It's just random, and like Luke says at some point, like it's the light doesn't, the Force doesn't die with the Jedi. It's just always going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, the Jedi is just an order, a religious order that came about that it went to understand the Jedi and then use it in their own way, whether it be good or bad for their own purposes. But I think it's still out there. And some people are born with higher midichlorians.
We're talking about the midichlorians?
Forget midichlorians, but pretty much that's the explanation for it. But yeah, like I was saying before, so Rey says this line, like, what is my purpose? What is my place in all of this? And when she finds out that her parents were basically nobody, she's not connected to the Skywalker. She's nobody. She's just someone who's very special in her own way. I think she finally grew up and was like, I'm tired of trying to look for the past. I'm tired of trying to really understand my place in this. My place is right in front of me. There's a rebellion going on. There's a bad guy. I have powers. I'm going to use these powers for good. I'm going to become a leader. I'm going to become the new Jedi. She's going to be the new Jedi. At the end, she comes out, I think, really understanding that I have these powers and I'm going to use them for good.
On the other hand, Kylo understands like that he's not going to be the new Darth Vader. That he does have like a sweet spot for Rey. He saves her life and kill the Snoke, whatever. But then he goes on like this rant, like, "Oh, come join me. We'll like rule together."
I don't know why he thought that would work.
And also, I didn't understand his rationale because then she turned him down and he's like, "Okay, well then I'm just gonna go back to the First Order and like kill the rebels." Like, but
yeah,
so it was
that would be a negative. I would say
that doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
yeah, when he offered her that deal, I'm like, why would you think she would say yes to that? And
also, like, you just killed like your boss effectively to save her life. Now you just want to kill her because she turned down like your bullshit, like irrational offer. This doesn't make any sense. Like, what was he thinking was going to happen after he killed Snow? Like,
he does also strike me that there's something off of him. He has like temper tantrums, and he's like almost like a kid.
Yeah, maybe it was
like a child.
It was like an impulse decision that he didn't really think of.
Yeah, I think that's what
I think. I like the line where Luke goes, if you strike me down, it'll always haunt you, kind of like your father, which I kind of believe that he kind of maybe regrets killing Han Solo, and that's why he spared Rey. And I think maybe Kylo is just prone to making these like impulse decisions because he's like a child. He had these tantrums, and like he just acts out and later regrets it.
Yeah.
So maybe him killing Snoke was just like another one of his like instances of acting out, where he didn't really like think through what was going to happen.
I think that's part of it, but I think it also feeds into the bigger theme of the movie for both characters, Rey and Kylo, that they're trying to find their place in all of this, right?
Yeah.
And perhaps both of them are too busy trying to find purpose in the past, like who are my parents? Like if I know my parents, then I know my place. I know who I am. And Kylo's looking into the past of like, oh, I want to be Darth Vader, even Snoke. Like I want to learn under Snoke. And I think eventually they just realize like I can't rely on that, and I'm going to shed away the past. And Kylo does that literally by killing Snoke and by just becoming the new Supreme Leader.
Yeah.
Which is a funny name, the Supreme Leader. Too long. Yeah, we could. How do you feel about just going briefly, just like an overview of the movie, like where it begins, the middle, and at the end?
Yeah, we can do that.
So the movie starts out with Poe Dameron taking down this new ship, a dreadnought.
Yeah, the dreadnought.
Which is like this big new starship, even bigger. Everything gets bigger.
Yeah.
And I think
he took it down with friends. He had like those bombers.
Yeah. And one thing I liked about this movie was that it gave each individual character like a story arc. So we begin with Poe kind of showing him being like this trigger happy, like gun ho, not afraid to get in there and do what needs to be done. But he does end up having a lot of people killed for it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people die on that mission.
But he took down the dreadnought.
He took down the dreadnought, but later on in the movie, we see how there was a plan all along. Like he went over Leia, who was the commander, thinking that he knew better, without really working as a team.
Wait, what was the plan all along?
Her plan was to use the transport ships because they were going to be undetected by the bigger ship and go and kind of sneak into this new planet, this new base, undetected. So they had a plan all along. In fact, the whole reason there's this final end battle is because Poe takes a risk having Finn go into the starship, try to disable, and then when they get caught, then that's when the plan is revealed that that's what they were going to do. So Poe actually really fucked up in this movie a lot. Like he's the reason why we even have like that.
No, but I don't think Poe fucked up. I thought like Leia and the other girl were being unreasonable. If you had a plan, tell me the plan. Like if I would pull that situation, we're running out of fuel. You know, I ask what the plan is. You say just follow water. I interpret that as being there's no plan. I'm gonna figure some shit out on my own.
Yeah.
Right. Like I think an effective leader like tell people what's going on and leads them, but doesn't keep them in the dark. Right.
It could have been, and again, it's one of those things that you can fill in the blanks. Maybe they didn't want to tell the secret because they were afraid it was going to get out. So it was kept really close. It probably was only kept between Leia and this new character. But which, by the way, there's this new character. I don't remember her name. But she has purple hair
and like kind of purple blue eyes.
Purple blue eyes. I didn't find that character very intriguing. I didn't find her very interesting. She kind of she was kind of there as she had a thing to do in the movie.
She was the sacrificial lamb.
Yeah. So she was whatever.
Also, are you surprised that Carrie Fisher was in the entire movie? Because didn't she passed away like mid-production, no? Yeah. So how did that happen?
Maybe they shot because she's not in that much of the. I mean, she's in a good chunk of the movie, but maybe they shot her scenes like first.
Yeah.
Interesting choice. And spoiler, she did not die in this movie.
Yeah, the movie's over and she's still alive.
She's still alive. So they're gonna have to whoever. J.J. Abrams is going to helm the new movie. He's going to have to find a creative way of addressing that, either by...
when Kylo Ren shot the cockpit and she got sent out to space, I was like, okay, this is how she's going to die. Okay, that's great. So that makes sense. And then she forces her way back. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's cool.
That was cool.
That was a cool scene. Because you don't really see Leia using the Force like in other movies, so it's good to see her do that. I thought she was going to die once she was like in the hospital bed. Yeah. And I thought that they were going to pull she didn't make it. Like that's it. Like she just died unceremoniously like on a hospital bed.
But they didn't.
She came back.
So yeah.
Any other spoilers?
They take down the dreadnought.
They take down the dreadnought.
They leap into like hyperspeed, but then they find out they're being tracked. And that's when the whole Finn like find the master hacker plan to like disable their tracker goes into.
And while all of this is happening, Rey is having her own. Basically, it starts where the other one left off, where she's in the island. She wants to get trained by Luke. Luke is very hesitant. Like doesn't really.
Luke is in a mood.
And. He's grumpy. He's like a grumpy old man.
Luke was in a mood this entire movie. He was just like being really grumpy.
Yeah, but how could you blame him? He had a traumatic past.
Oh, I do think the scene where Rey finally finds out that what Luke told her about Kylo Ren wasn't true, that like he thought about killing him, and then like she confronts him. I thought that was like a really cool scene, and they started to fight a little bit. But what I really wanted to happen was them to have like a full on like lightsaber fight, Luke versus Rey. I thought that would have been really fun. They
had a fight, but it wasn't with lightsabers. It was like just regular sticks. Yeah. But the lightsaber was taken out.
No, yeah, she put up the lightsaber on her.
Yeah, she meant business.
She was like, "Tell me the truth."
And then Luke reveals that. Which was, you're right, that was a good reveal because it showed that Luke was skeptical of like he was so afraid of the dark side that he wasn't willing to give Kylo a choice.
Yeah.
He was gonna just kill him.
We always idolize Luke as like this hero, but it's cool to like flesh him out as like a human. Like he made a mistake too. Like he got scared, he acted hastily, and like
and he was gonna kill Han Solo's kid.
Yeah.
Leia, his sister's kid. Just because he was so scared.
On a hunch, yeah.
On a hunch, yeah. That was a cool reveal. Also, I guess we could just jump to the end. Luke does a really cool thing at the end. Where, and that's part of the twists and turns where there's this cool battle. Is it the final? Yeah, it's the final battle scene. It's Kylo. He's the leader now. He's attacking this new base. And Luke shows up at the base. And it's one man versus the whole army.
Yeah.
He gets shot at.
Like with their beam, like the cannon.
Everything. Everything is directed at him, and he survives that.
The little brush off. I thought that was funny.
Gangster. And he survived. And then I thought like, is this like he's just a super powerful Jedi?
Yeah.
What's going on? He did a Matrix move.
I'm glad they explained it. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, guys.
Yeah, he did like a Matrix move. And then he got sliced. And I'm like, oh no, like he sacrificed himself, like he did a Han Solo. But then it's revealed that no, he's sort of what was he doing? Like basically he was projecting himself.
Yeah,
he's
Jedi mind trick hologram.
Yeah,
apparently that's the power Jedi's have.
And apparently, if you do it, you disappear into nothingness. Yeah, that's what happens to Luke. He disappears. What's with the Jedi's like just vanishing after they use their power? A lot.
I think it was because he was too old. Maybe young man Luke could have done that and still survived.
Yeah, so he disappears. That's how the movie ends. I assume we're gonna see him in part 3 as a
ghost,
as a Force ghost, as they call him. Ooh. Speaking of Force ghosts, I mean, we can't not talk about the cameo we had in this movie.
What cameo?
Yoda.
Oh, Yoda, yeah.
Yoda.
I forgot about Yoda.
How can you forget about Yoda?
I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest. I got a little teary.
I thought the cameo was like cringeworthy, but I think you and I both have a different memory of the original trilogy. Whereas I thought those movies were like great movies, but I don't have like this nostalgic tie to it. So like for me, Yoda is like this old character in this old movie that I really don't want to see in this new movie. But I know that people love Yoda, so
you're such a grump. You should hang out with Luke in that island. You guys get along. Because
I'm a grump because I don't want a character from the movie from the 70s to be in my 2017 movie.
But this movie is about the Skywalker storyline. You need Yoda in there.
I don't think you need Yoda at all.
Well, I like Yoda.
And also, I don't think the movie needs to be about the Skywalker timeline.
But you can't judge a movie on stuff you thought it should be, right?
No, I totally can.
You can do that, but I think that I like that Yoda scene because, first of all, we've seen in other movies that you could be visited by a Force ghost, right? You see Obi-Wan in New Hope.
Yeah.
At the end of the original trilogy, Anakin and Yoda, they're all like kind of dancing, celebrating.
But that wasn't like 40 years after like the movie came out, right?
I know, but it tied in narratively because Luke was having like this crisis where he was gonna burn the Jedi tree with the Jedi information, and as he's going to do it, he gets visited by his like an old master Yoda, and Yoda kind of cracks some jokes like, "Oh, Master Luke, like I've missed you," and Luke's like, "I'm gonna burn it, I'm gonna do it," and then Yoda
just burned it for him.
I'll do it for you.
Well, what's the big deal?
Yeah, like you're making this whole drama. Let me just do it because Yoda is like he's the Buddha master, so he's transcended materialistic goods.
Except for when in like episode 3 where he's like bouncing around the walls. Do you remember that scene?
Oh, yeah. I also like that we didn't get CGI Yoda because
Oh yeah.
We had prequel Yoda and we had the Muppet Yoda, and we got the Muppet Yoda, and I like the Muppet Yoda. I thought I liked that scene. I liked it. I really loved it. But
yeah. Well, that could be in the wrong. Maybe let us know in the comments. Did you like the Yoda? I think you can do like polls now on YouTube. I might be wrong, but let us know in the comments if you like the Yoda scene.
That's a good question. Like, what people thought about it.
How do you feel about the Yoda scene?
I'm gonna take a guess and say most people liked it.
Okay, I can see that. But no, but I also think most people have a strong like nostalgic attachment to the original trilogy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like Star Wars is special for a lot of people.
Yeah, I get that.
Like it tickles your imagination.
When did you see your first Star Wars
16,
movie?
I think?
Yeah, see, I saw it when I was like 20. I was old.
Yeah, I saw it at 16. And I gave it a try. I gave the original 3 a try, and I'm like, I really like this shit. And I like The Empire Strikes Back. I still think it's still the best one. So yeah, any other spoilers that we can think of that we want to spoil?
Spoilers.
Oh, Finn has a new romance in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Which, by the way, I'm gonna say that's a negative for me. It's a negative for me because I saw them as friends.
I didn't know. Yeah, that romance was the negative. I do like her arc where like her sister died.
Yeah, her arc.
That was like
she was a great supporting.
Yeah, she was a very great supporting character.
Cool. She was a good actress. Too.
I love the scene where she's like, I've just been here dating people that are trying to desert. Wait, why do you have a backpack? Wait, why are you you're cleaning out an escape pod with a backpack? And she just like tasers her.
Yeah, she does have a good. We see her sister at the beginning of the movie sacrifice herself, so she was really into the cause. And we meet her sister who is contributing to the rebellion cause, but she's not at the forefront. Like she seemed like she was like an IT person.
She's like the rebellion janitor.
Yeah, which Finn was.
Yeah,
he was a First Order janitor. So it's like these two characters who weren't meant for big things, doing big things, and something that they believe in. And then there's a romance that comes out of it, which I guess it was there. Maybe I was naive, but I didn't want them to be in a romance. I don't need my characters to kiss each other all the time.
I went to he's gonna get Ray. I feel like Ray is so much better.
I know.
Like, I don't want to fucking date the intern.
Well, that's what happened, and.
But do you remember at the end where he's like watching over her, then like Ray like looks at him? So I think he lost his chance.
Guys, take that as a learning lesson on how to friend zone yourself. That's classic friend zone.
Yeah, letting our friends.
That is classic. I think that's solidified.
That's the big takeaway of this movie. Like, avoid the friend zone at all costs.
Finn did a lot in this movie, but I think the biggest takeaway from this movie forward is that he's officially Ray's friend. They're friends. They might do a brunch.
When Ray's moving into her new apartment, he's gonna help her lift up a couch.
While Poe Dameron is drinking a beer.
Oh yeah,
wearing a tank top, wearing a tank.
Poe just
walking
around in his boxers. Something.
If you put that over there. Thanks, bro. Can I get my jacket back?
Yeah, we was making mood at the end.
Yeah, so Poe ended up very well. Oh, Poe is going to be the new leader of the rebellion.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Leia is not going to be in Part 3, obviously.
No, and it was cool. You mentioned this where like Poe starts off as like this gun shooting like hothead, and then he kind of like learned the weather plan. So I feel like that kind of like prepped him to be like a more balanced leader in the third movie.
Yeah, and he's gonna be the leader. He's gonna be the Leia. Rey's gonna be the Luke, right?
Yeah.
And Kylo's gonna be his own thing, but pretty much the Darth Vader. No, pretty much almost the Emperor. Yeah. He's like the new Emperor.
Yeah.
I also think
but not the Emperor, because the Emperor was like pure evil, right? There was like no redeeming him. I feel like he's closer to Darth Vader, where there is redemption there. I feel like Part 3 isn't gonna end with like Rey just killing him. I feel like he's gonna come around.
You think he's gonna come around?
I mean, he came around in this movie.
Yeah, there's some light in him. Mm. But what would compel him to come around? Because his mother's gonna die. His dad's like every attachment to the past is done. Snoke is dead. I think that's what held him back. Was like these little attachments to his previous life.
Yeah.
And now that they're all gone, like he's so focused on establishing his order in the universe. Yeah. So I think that's pretty much for spoil. There's so much more to spoil, but I think this video's kind of gone long enough.
We'll let you watch the movie on your own.
Yeah, watch the movie.
Hopefully you already did if you were watching that.
Yeah. Yeah. Or go see it again. Go see this movie again. This is one of those movies that I think you can go see again and you'll have just as much fun. In fact, you'll probably get a better understanding of it because there's so much that goes on. So yeah, that's as far as the spoilers for me.
Yeah. Any parting thoughts?
No, like Steve said, like leave. Thank you for watching all of this if you did. And
this is 40 minutes. Thank you for giving us your time.
Yeah, leave. That's our question to you guys then. Like, what did you guys think about the Yoda scene?
Yeah.
I know that's spoilers.
Yes Yoda or no Yoda?
Yeah, yes or no Yoda. I go yes.
I go no.
But tell us what you
let
guys
us
think.
know.
Let us know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Watch our other videos. Our regular videos are going to go up for the rest of the week.
If you like this, please just click that like button. I know you guys don't think it means it a lot, but it helps a lot. So
Please.
it's a little
Comment, like, subscribe, tell your friends.
Tell your great aunt.
While you're waiting in line for the Last Jedi, tell every person there that's on the line. Check out this cool review. You're gonna love it.
When you go to work, just go to our channel, play all our videos, and have just like stream.
Yeah, tell everyone. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for stopping by. This is Background Buzz Reviews. And yeah, I gave this movie a 9 in case you guys didn't see it and you gave it
8.0.
8.0. So I think the overall takeaway is that we enjoy this movie.
Yeah, we were.
It's a great movie. It's a great setup. So looking forward to the new Star Wars movie. And we had fun. It was a blast. It was a thrill ride.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Later.
Peace.